So I have a lot of stuff, and I don't have nearly enough storage space for all of my stuff. And a lot of the stuff I collect, like these random rods, I will probably never use, but I want to have them available. But this is way too useful a space for things that I do actually use to waste with stuff like this. In one of my previous videos, I pilfered a Bed Bath & Beyond that went out of business and bought out their 12-foot shelving for basically $600 for 100 linear feet of it, 12 feet high. And I'm gonna utilize that for my shop to put in a bunch of shelving along this wall, and also a new shop that we're building for my dad, and it's gonna have a 50-foot wall of just straight shelving for all of our collective junk. Today I'm gonna finally start on putting this together because it's just taking up space in my shop in storage. I'm gonna put up something around the door here and go to the wall to replace these two with the 12-foot shelving. And I'm gonna need to adapt the shelving because it goes to the floor to go all the way across, because I really only want shelving above my work area there and just going to the ceiling. So let's get started. Okay, so now JW, my dear friend. That's a horrible sound.
And you'll hear the lamb screaming Clarice.
Seriously. Oh. What do you think I'm going to drop this on you?
There's a potential for it.
Oh, look at you trying to help. Ow! That hit me too. I don't understand why that came down. Just, ho! Good throw. I'll cut that part out. Okay, so it's secure. There's shelves. Now I'm going to take the junk that I have right now and put that up there. Now I need to deal with the rest of the shelving. I've been working on a 3D model of my workshop so that I can sort of visualize things as I develop my shop, and I took the time to make models of the shelving. In a perfect world, it would go up just like you see on the screen, but the problem I have is that all of my boxes and whatnot don't really cooperate with this idea because they are their own sizes and don't really fit into that 4-foot wide space. And in general, it's just sort of inefficient to have the side supports go all the way up and down along this whole wall. So what I decided to do is redesign it, and I'm going to modify it. So conceptually, this is what I'm going to end up with, which then allow all my boxes and whatnot to go underneath. Now you'll see here that this one's showing that it interferes, but that's just a remnant of the simple model here. That's just the top of the box lid, so it actually fits just fine if you have it like that. And then I'll put the boxes more or less in this configuration for right now. And I'm going to put up one more regular vertical wall, and my one work table fits right in there. So for now, I'll have all my workspace just kind of split right now, and I'll do some updates to that in the future. But to show you specifically what I'm going to try and do here, the basic geometry of these vertical supports is pretty straightforward. There's a mesh in the middle, this wire grid, and it goes into these tracks that then, I didn't do it here in the model, but basically each one of these goes one way and then the other way, and it's all kind of squished in there. And what I want to do here is the following. I'm going to simply take a section of it and cut it out. This little section down here, I'll cut this leg down the bottom and figure out that dimension. I'll cut it, bend it on the corner, bring it back and weld this all together. And I should have an area to sort of weld this all in here, and it will be pretty strong. Now in my model, I show it just coming down to this corner here, but ultimately I have another brace that I bend it again and have some meat to strengthen this all up. Once I have my modified vertical support, I can then just mount it to the wall with a couple of braces that tie into wall girts that are behind the sheet metal. Now on top of that, when you actually look at the geometry of the wall, it's not flat. So to keep everything on the same plane, these vertical supports line up pretty much with these inner bumps, and then on one or two of them line up right on the same edge as this outer bump. And I want everything to be on the same plane, so I need to bring it all out to the outer bump here. And I came up with this simple little bracket idea that I'll make out of wood, and then I can tie it all into the wall with some little mounting plates. So conceptually, that's what I'm thinking here. There will be a couple of issues that'll arise, mainly me overestimating the rigidity of this vertical beam once I take out that mesh. I figured it would just support straight down and stay a straight thing, and well, that doesn't happen. So now that I have the concept down, I need to just pick up some different materials and I should be ready to get going on this. I've got a bunch of different things I had to go out and buy and that design process. I fortunately have a neighbor who does woodworking. They have a whole business around it, and I got him to make me this nice piece of wood that should fit in nicely into the corrugation. This metal bar, which I ended up going to a scrap material overflow business that's around here, where they sell basically metal that they keep outside at like 60 cents a pound, whatever it is. I went and found exactly what I need there to make the brackets that will tie into this. And then for added support, I don't trust my design by itself to be strong enough to hold everything. So I'm gonna add some tension line going the opposite direction that should just need some cable, ferrules, and some of these turnbuckles, which turns out is, I'm thinking, oh, just get a little turnbuckle like what's on the back of the originals. But it appears that a turnbuckle that size is only rated for probably that one, I would guess under 50 pounds. It's a small number, but it's not holding up any load. It's just keeping it from side to side. And these turnbuckles here, they're quite big, but they're only rated for 215 pounds. And I plan to put one turnbuckle at each shelf because I'm going to put two above. So yeah, apparently I need a turnbuckle this big to get the tension that I want. Seems overkill, but that's what they say. So I went and got the right thing. This wire is rated for 340 pounds. It's all overkill in reality, but I plan to have these up here a long time, and there's going to be stuff sitting up there a long time, so might as well do overkill one time and not have to worry about it. Let's see if my plan works. I think we're ready to start cutting these. Basically, I went and measured that. I'm gonna go under the little signs that we have and bring that angle back. So I went and measured this with a tape, and I'm going every other one of these little grids, just because that'll give me the most purchase area to weld to then. And as well, I checked it with my laser because I got my laser, I might as well use it. And everything looks like it lines up pretty nice. So I think I'm ready to cut this out. Hopefully this works, or I gotta go back to the drawing board. So as you can see here, it should be where it gets bent to then go back along here. And I'll have to cut along this line that I've checked with my laser to make sure it's straight. And at the correct length down here, I'll cut that off completely, get that out of there. And then I'm gonna have to pull all this grid off. So that I think is gonna be the hardest part of this process because I don't think it's just gonna come out easily. Okay, let's see if I succeed. Oh, that's non-flammable. That's the least important thing. If anything, cover the, $5,000 piece of equipment. So,
That ain't worth a dick right now.
No.
Is that troubling?
That's actually pretty interesting. You know, at the factory, they would have had to like make that work. I wonder if it's from the crimping process
Oh yeah, absolutely.
that caused that. Oh, it's gonna seem so wrong when this goes up on that wall. Could be it. Get out of here. Some things that I wasn't expecting, and it makes sense though. These womp when they're not held together by the grating. You know, it all works together to be strong. But I'm going to guess what happens is when this came together, the process of squeezing this causes it to want to go that way, stress-wise. So kind of interesting. We'll be able to shore it up. Either we'll just put more of those things on the wall to drill it in to kind of keep it straight. Ultimately, the weight is still going straight down, so we'll see about that. Figure that out after we get these little bits out. What we're going to try to do, I was going to just cut this back and re-weld it, but I'm going to try getting away with just bending it right here. We're going to see what happens on this first one. And I'm using this rod to put a point on that crimp, and I'm going to try and squeeze this flat, and then we'll try and bend it on that spot. So let's see if that works. It's pretty good. So as you can see, we've tried to make this as the weak spot, and hopefully now we can just pretty easily bend it to that new geometry. I'm going to cut this end off. We don't need it. Oh, I guess I need yours too.
Yeah. Your ears are more important.
What?
Where's my glasses?
Oh, well that just gives out good.
Wow. That went way easier.
Yeah. Well, it's the point of weakness, so it makes sense. This probably should have not cut that and used that to our advantage. Okay, so this is working well. We wanted to flatten that because I'm going to end up welding this, and since we weakened that joint and up here as well, it all sort of just with leverage just creased where we wanted it. So watch, I can continue bending this and get it where I want it here. Okay, so it's working. That looks about right. Look at that. You'd think I knew what I was doing.
It's better than OJ's gloves.
Yep, that'll work.
Well, that's
Okay.
nice how you cut that all the way up. Those all fit real nice.
Yeah.
It's almost like you had a plan.
Sort of.
It's not stupid if it works.
One of the things that I've been thinking about is how to keep as much rigidity in here as possible. And the plan was to weld this wire to this frame to kind of really help stabilize it. And it's kind of hard. I was thinking I was going to maybe drill a hole in the other side and sort of plug weld it all together, but that's a lot of work, and this is this epoxy paint, and it'll be real hard to clean that up. So what I'm thinking now is instead I'm going to basically make some room, grind a little bit on the corner, grind a little bit off of the wires, and just kind of tack them a little bit here, you know, at each spot that there's contact between the two, and that should be good enough. So I'm going to do that, and hopefully that will be enough. think I have enough clamps.
Once you bent that up, that really shored it up. I mean, this part is still.
Yeah, but it's going to be what it's going to be.
Okay, please just work and be easy. Okay. So you'll just kind of bring that over, and I will.
Do my best. I'm picking it up. You're standing it.
Okay, hold on.
I need to be taller.
This is also true. Of course, I do all that solid modeling, and I don't factor in the boxes because I just figured it'd be fine. What were the chances that we'd run into one? Crap. Our current plan is to see if we can just pull this out, and we'll remount it further out because I don't want to. The whole point is to do this different, you know, to have this out here. So we're gonna flip the breaker for this and see if we can pull this out a little bit, and we'll just mount it in front of it. Oh, already getting complications. That goes here. Might as well cut out our thing on that. Get out of there! Oh, baby. So that's part one of the equation. And now we're gonna have to put our channel in. Not a good idea. Okay, now this should just chip out, I think. Oh, we only gotta do this like a bunch more times. Yeah, if I owned like a router or anything, a real router, that would make this easier.
Link in the description.
When my kids remove these shelves, no, my grandkids remove these shelves in a long time because they're like, what the hell was Granddad thinking? I want them to go, wow, look at the detail. As it should. We don't want it to be
Wobbly.
well, no, we do want this because that means that this is protruding out and it'll get pushed in. So now we'll need to take this information and transfer it to more board. It's like 9:15. I got a video to put out tomorrow. That's enough for today.
In my next video, I'll figure out how to fix the flimsy leg issue and conclude getting this Bed Bath & Beyond shelving up in my shop. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. And as always, have a good one.